Tuesday, May 1. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. The government says the declaration by the parliamentary opposition that it does not intend to support extensions of the state of emergency in St. James beyond the next 3 months is a signal of disunity in the fight against crime. A release from Jamaica House Monday afternoon said the opposition's statement shows that the lack of political unity will bring the security measure to an end, rather than a consideration of outcomes and results. The government argued in the release that the state of emergency in St. James and St. Catherine North have been yielding significant results in reducing crime. The government is expected to request an extension of the measure in St. James today. But the opposition last week stated at a media briefing that it is the last extension it will support, unless the government presents extraordinary reasons to continue the state of emergency. The House of Representatives will make another attempt this afternoon to start the annual sectoral debate, following last week's chaotic end with a number of items still left on the agenda. The sectoral debate, which follows the annual debate, allows cabinet ministers to report to the country on developments within their portfolios, as well as plans for new fiscal year. It was scheduled to commence last Tuesday, April 24, with newly assigned Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, Odley Shaw, opening the debate. However, it was delayed to today because of last week's premature adjournment at approximately 7:20 p.m., which affected more than half of the agenda. The private sector organization of Jamaica, PBCJ, in a release yesterday, said that it will not be returning today for the sectoral debate unless it can be assured that order and decorum can be maintained. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging young people to lead the discussion against the normalization of violence in Jamaica. Speaking yesterday at an annual general meeting of the Jamaica Labour Party affiliate group, Young Jamaica, Mr. Holness said Jamaicans have become increasingly desensitized to the abnormally high levels of violence in the country. Mr. Holness says what's happening in Jamaica today in terms of murders is worse than some war-torn countries, and the youth must speak out against it. He said the country has been in a state of emergency long before one was officially declared. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke has said he is unable to give a timeline for the publication of the final report from the FinSAC Commission of Inquiry, which looked into the collapse of the financial sector in the 1990s. Earlier this year, then Finance Minister Odley Shaw said he expected the report to be available within a matter of weeks. But speaking on a radio on Monday, Dr. Clarke said FinSAC's job is almost complete, with exception of 1 or 2 legal cases that remain outstanding. Dr. Clarke admitted that a publication of the report is long overdue, but said his best understanding is that the report will soon be with us. In regional news, Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro announced Monday that the minimum wage would be increased in an effort to tackle the country's runaway inflation. According to the International Monetary Fund, Venezuela's economic collapse ranks as one of the worst in modern history, with hyperinflation likely to see prices soaring to 13,000% this year. The president also said that from Tuesday, when Venezuela celebrates Workers' Day, public service employees will receive an additional increase of around $2. The wage increase, the third this year, brings minimum monthly income to 2.55 million bolivars, or US $3.20 on the widely used black market when a food voucher is included. Despite sitting on the world's largest oil reserves, Venezuelans are grappling with severe shortages of food and medicines, largely due to a drastic cut in imports caused by failing or falling oil prices. And Venezuelan economists have attacked Maduro's constant adjustments, saying they succeeded only in driving up the cost of living and are not accompanied by a plan to cut inflation or impose fiscal or monetary discipline. According to the government, about 13 million Venezuelan workers earn the minimum wage. In sports, Carvel Stewart, Vice Chairman of the Premier League Clubs Association, has rubbished the suggestion from the Jamaica Football Federations of a franchise system to chart the way forward for the development of local football. Coming out of its retreat in 2014, the JFF suggested that it was considering moving the country's premier football competition to 10-team franchise system. However, the franchise system debate has been a heated topic in recent weeks, as the Kingston and St. Andrew Football Association accounts for 7 of 12 teams in the just concluded Red Stripe Premier League season, with 5 of them making the 6-team playoffs. Stewart, who is also the first vice president of CASAFA, is also questioning the technical basis of a franchise system and how development would result from it. And that's the news. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.